Hey guys, Jeremy here from School of Wok, Covent Garden. Happy Wednesday. It's a happy Wok Wednesday, and this week we're doing a recipe from one of my books, Hong Kong Diner, and it's a Pei Pa Tofu, which is basically a quenelled fried tofu dish with some pak choi. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, ding! Hit that notification bell, and we'll love you forever. Now usually for a Pei Pa tofu, you would have minced meat mixed with tofu, or minced prawns mixed with tofu, and shiitake mushrooms and all the other seasoning. I've taken the minced meat out because I feel that this recipe is great to be a vegetarian recipe, but it's not vegan because I'm using a salted duck egg in place of the meat. Kind of weird. So salted duck eggs are essentially exactly what they say on the tin. It's a duck egg that is put in a brine solution, so just salt and water. So I'm going to pop this straight in to boil. 10 minutes, you want to get it nice and solid so it's a proper hard boil. But to be honest, the egg yolk, because of the salt in there, will be really sort of hard and quite chalky in texture already anyway. That's going to go in, bring it to a boil, 10 minutes. Next up, we're going to finely chop all the ingredients for my tofu mix. So we're going to start with the core ginger, garlic, spring onion, classic Cantonese cooking. Now I'm going to add some green beans to this as well. 5, 6, just a small handful of green beans, and that's just to add a bit of texture to the dish. I've got my shiitake mushrooms, they're soaked in hot water, but I'm going to keep my water for cooking my sauce later on. So don't throw that away. And if anyone's tempted in your household to do so, make sure you guard it with your life. I've got some firm, fresh tofu here. A lot of people ask me whether you have to press tofu. I mean, it's already been pressed in its own way. So for me, just keep the texture as is, and I quite like the moisture in it. So you don't have to press it, just dab it dry, and then you can just crumble it into the mix. Now I've still got my salted egg to go into this mix. So remember that it's salted egg, so it's gonna add saltiness to it. So when you're gonna season this mix, don't go overboard. You're looking at about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a good pinch of white pepper, and then about a teaspoon of sesame oil into that mix. And then give that a good massage through to mix all the ingredients together. The pak choi is just for later for the braising stage, because we're gonna deep fry these quenelles of tofu, and then we're gonna braise it just in a quick sauce. So my salted egg has been boiled nicely, and you'll see it's a hard-boiled egg. It's really strong in flavor, this. So you'll see inside that it's kind of got this like chalkiness to the yolk. All of that egg into my tofu mix. Now it's good for texture and helping to bind. If you're not using salted egg and you still want to make it veggie or properly vegan, then I'd replace that with some panko breadcrumbs just to help bring the mix together. I'm going to put 1 normal egg yolk in there as well. So I've enriched this with the egg yolk. I've got 3 tablespoons of corn flour in here. All of that is in there. It's well seasoned. I'm going to give that a good mix and get all that salted egg mixed into the dish. You want your heat to be at sort of 180 degrees, so any wooden chopsticks fizzing immediately show that the oil is at that heat. And then if you want to go traditional Chinese sort of shape, it is that quenelle shape that we're looking for. So 2 spoons to quenelle your tofu, and then pop that in. Press down and twist. I learned this from French culinary school, and it works with the spoons. It just really helps. You could just shape it with your hands. So once your quenelles or your rugby balls of tofu are nice and golden brown, then they're ready to take out. So you want to do this in batches and just make sure that they don't overcook, they don't sort of burn. So do that until you've used all of your mix up. I'm going to make my sauce now. It's really, really simple. I'm going to start off with some ginger and spring onion just because I had some extra. You want to cook your ginger to a point that goes nice and golden brown before you start to add your sauce. Brown nicely that ginger, so oyster sauce can go in, but I've swapped this out with vegetarian stir-fry sauce, just to keep the whole dish veggie friendly. Dash of dark soy sauce, some light soy, and then my water from the mushrooms. And the reason why I put those sauces, so the thicker sauces in first, is so it does get that sort of initial like bubble up, like vigorous boil before I pour the mushroom water in. And that just brings out more flavour of the oil, so the ginger and the spring onion. Now, I've got corn flour and water here. I'm not going to pour all of this in because I don't want my sauce to be all gloopy. I just want to slightly thicken the sauce to a more sort of silky smooth texture. So it's on the boil, give it a stir, and as that corn flour paste cooks through into the sauce, it will thicken the sauce slightly. You don't see me doing this very often in my recipes, but when it's a sort of quite liquidy sauce like this and you want that sort of slightly thicker texture, it does work a treat. So you can see the texture of this sauce, still relatively wet and liquidy. I'm going to put another half spoon of this corn flour mix in there, not too much more. Once that hits the boil, I can see that's starting to thicken up now, and I'll show you guys again. So this time round, when I pick it up, it will still drip down, but it is just slightly thicker. That will thicken up over the next couple of minutes again, so I'm not going to go any further with that corn flour paste. Hot oil. Once your wok's smoking hot, your veg can go in. Pak choy cooks very quickly, especially if you give it just a little dash of water. That will steam that pak choy through very, very quickly. I want it to hold its shape, because you only really want to stir fry that for a couple of minutes maximum. So my pak choy, nicely flash fried. Just want to allow space for the tofu to sit into that dish. So the sauce has got a nice thickness to it. Get those quenelles in. You still want to be relatively delicate with them because they are very soft inside. Boil that a couple of minutes. You could sit it in there for 5 minutes or so. Just get that sauce all around your tofu quenelles. Sauce right over the top. Pei Pa Tofu from my book, Hong Kong Diner. I'm just going to dig into this straight away. That is delicious. It's a type of dish, someone who doesn't like tofu, you should try this first. It's just packed full of flavour. It's got that saltiness from the salted egg, great texture. It's got almost meatiness around the outside, but without any meat in it. Nice different take on a proper Cantonese restaurant dish. So what's your favourite tofu dish? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to know. If you like this type of recipe, if you want to learn more about Chinese cooking or Asian cooking, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, comment, ding, hit the notification bell. Ta-da!